software that's in there. So just seems a big thing, because they were using the idea of creation, right, for new product in a way that it really doesn't sit with the rest of that sector. If you use creation as an input and you define software development, interactive content, then actually they can expand it to a huge sort of range. And of course, in that, people just punching out code as well. So I think it's a real problem on that. So I just think, what is creativity? What by Kern is more, I think, sophisticated, because actually the centre for Throsby is what he calls cultural industries, or arts and cultural industries, where it doesn't just include the creative input, because this Hutton's thing, it's not really an industry map at all, it's an input map, if you
And we are animals who need fictions. Yeah. So bees, they also need design, and they also need media. They communicate with one another quite clearly, they build hives and so on. But they don't have any art, and they don't have any stories, they don't have any fiction. So that's my completely unhelpful observation.
This is absolutely great.
You see why it's all in the stage of makeup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Friendly place or
wherever I do the time. The other thing is, why has creative industries sort of gone out of fashion? I think part of the answer to that is that in the early days we thought, fantastic, this is a new growth industry at which we will be good. We're good at aeronautics, we're good at pharmaceuticals, we ought to be good at creative industries. Great, that'll be one of our growth cogs for the economy. And what have we found 10 or 15 years on? Creative industries is really strong, and it's really strong in Sony and in German publishers and in Californian film companies. I mean, some of us don't work in the games industry. Every politician says how fantastic the UK games industry is. Answer, the UK games industry have got a tiny amount of employment and it's going down, and all the money's been made elsewhere. And suddenly this isn't going to be embarrassing. Yes, creative industries are fantastic, and actually we've got it wrong. We've dropped the ball. So let's change the subject and talk about something else. I think part of it is just we're embarrassed about the fact that we've failed at the creative industry.
Well, on that last part, I think it goes back to what Kate said about the connection with New Labour, which is it's an inability to have an industrial policy.
Absolutely.
Not just an inability to conceive it, actually have no tools with which to do it, because they're all dismantled by the previous government. So, that's, the DCMS definition is individuals with wealth and basically. No mention of industry, actually, in that document, apart from the term. And in fact, the ability to intervene, in the structure of the industry was signally lacking. They didn't have the intelligence to do that. I know they attempted to do it in the film council thing, but by and large, certainly local authorities never had the chance to do it. So I take your reading, actually, it probably is. It's a bit like that. Yes, we like it, we can't do anything about it. But we have no tools except go forth and be more creative and sell off to friends.
That's interesting, because I suppose if you look back at it, you'd say that the really, really big bits of kind of industrial picking up happened, like the BBC, like Channel 4, that in a sense kind of created that big success that we all talked about. New Labour didn't do anything similar, it just did lots of sort of tinkering.
I don't think about it was
UK Film Council tax break.
It never intervened in the distribution chain for anything, really. It never intervened in the market in a way that it didn't have the intellectual influence, it didn't have the political will to do it either, did it? It wasn't going to support cities in the way the French were going to support the games industry, because that wasn't the politics of New Labour.
Chris Smith said to me once when I was sat somewhere in town, he said, the French build walls, we build platforms. And I said,
what are you putting on walls?
Maybe it wasn't susceptible to that kind of innovation. Maybe that set of activities that we're talking about wasn't susceptible to that sort of.
But you look at the country.
The games industry was susceptible.
You look at the countries.
The Canadians seem to have done it.
I was going to say, just look at why is that.
The one comment I would say in response to that, what New Labour have done, and the thing for me that's slightly is missing from that, or I struggle with, which is about demand. Which is, if you take, one